Hi guys, welcome back to the garage. I'm Sam.
And I'm Brad.
And we are finally back on the Jeep project.
Yeah, sorry it's been a while. Not long after we got it is when the world decided to break with the whole pandemic thing and airplanes flying over, so that's good. But anyways, we're back on it now. Things feel a little bit more stable. I don't feel so bad spending money on Jeep parts. So anyways, we got a few things in store, so check it out.
Check it out.
One of the things we've been working on, focusing on, which I didn't really film any, but was sorting out the electrical system because it was a bit of a mess. But I've just about got everything figured out. One thing that was really helpful is online. I'll have to put a link to the guy's website, but I was able to find a wiring diagram which was in multiple pieces, so I photoshopped it kind of back together. This has been really helpful. This, along with a multimeter and just a lot of troubleshooting, figuring out what wire does what. Stripped out a bunch of the dead stuff. This is what's been yanked so far. And
that's just round one.
Yeah, there's
still more.
There's still more in the back that needs to go. But we've got functional lights. It starts. We've got blinkers, we got brake lights. We don't have any dome lights yet. A couple of things that were pretty jacked up were the heat and air. But after doing some troubleshooting on that, I figured out that the actual blower motor is fried. So we've got to get a new blower motor. And then anybody that's ever worked on these old Cherokees or Wagoneers knows that the tailgate is notoriously bad on these. The window actuator, this guy, I finally got it out, but the window channel was completely thrashed. The tailgate that was on this thing was just complete junk. I'll insert a few pictures of it. So this is what we've got going in as a replacement, and we'll include a little footage of Sam and I's road trip to go rescue this.
Let's go back in time.
That's right.
Okay, so we're literally out in the middle of nowhere because we put an ad on Craigslist asking if anyone had any Jeep parts. Someone responded, and turns out they literally do live in the middle of nowhere. So we're going out on a little road trip, about an hour and a half out of town.
Hopefully we find some good stuff. We'll keep you posted.
Yeah. Looks like they already have a couple things that we're looking for, but we might find more, you never know, but we'll get there soon.
This is the Wagoneer that is sacrificing itself for the cause. It's had a rough life. It's already been stripped of all of its good stuff.
Almost everything.
Except for the tailgate, which was still in good shape, which we just liberated from its coffin. It is now getting ready to be loaded up and taken back to our project. Thanks to this guy. What's your name, this guy? Jake. Jake's helping us out.
Yeah, we got the gate off of there.
And I came for the tailgate. I want to leave with his Wagoneer, but I don't think that's probably going to happen. You mind if I get just a little footage of this guy?
Yep.
What year?
That's an 86.
86, my goodness. Perfect stance. What are those? Are those 33s?
33s, yep.
Oh man. Rhino style grill, LED headlights, winch. That thing is awesome. This is what our Cherokee wants to be. It's just not quite there yet. Although this one, I'm not sure if it's going to want to come out.
Yeah, so
It's
you
in a
might
bit
just
of a
have to
bind.
take the whole housing on that.
I was going to say, I'm trying to determine if it's worth it, and I'm kind of leaning towards no.
That one probably
Leaning
not.
towards no.
Yeah, because it's got a crack on it, but this housing's in good shape.
The cool thing about these, and I think the side markers are the same way, I think everything's symmetrical. I think you can take one of these and put it on the front. You can take one from the right, put it on the left. It doesn't make any difference. Wish they still did that stuff with the vehicles. Yeah, it's not broken.
Definitely an upgrade compared to what we have. This Wagoneer is definitely a big donor. Not just for these, but an entire tailgate.
I gave Sam the least envious job cleaning up this funky floor. What you got there, Sam?
There was definitely a wasp nest here.
And it was inside the door.
Just going about my day, vacuuming through the door, and something's clogged up, and then I think it's like a rock or something. Turns out to be a wasp nest.
I found one under the dash too.
Well, that's what you get.
Fortunately, it's vacant, so we're good.
So these doors were in relatively good shape, but the interior was definitely not. Just
Yeah, the door latches and the window regulators and everything were just in a bind and just a big mess.
Yeah. The weather stripping and the seals we're gonna put in all new. We've already worked on that one a ways, but here's what's cool about this one.
It works!
We still have a working...
It works pretty smooth too. It needs new weather stripping. Or let me try the latch. That was the other hurdle. Wow! It actually functions. The one on that side, the actual channel that holds the bottom of the glass was just, it had rotted completely away. So I need to get a new channel to put that one back together. But that shouldn't be that big of a deal. And then we'll have functioning windows and doors, and we can get that nightmare of a tailgate project squared away. Be good to go.
Those are our main objectives.
Okay, this whole situation looks a lot worse than it is. I've just got it torn apart. I'm trying to get the gauges all sorted out. I didn't have any lights in the dash for some reason. I think that's just a bulb issue, so that's not that big of a deal. Heater controls work, but the fan motor doesn't work. So this is sending the right voltage where it needs to go, but the motor's shot. So anyways, there's a little update on the interior.
We thought long and hard about this, and we came up with a list of things that we absolutely need. We cannot leave these things out. And as you can see, there are quite a few things on this list. Then we came up with a list of things that are not necessarily first priority, but we still need pretty badly. And we named that the not quite necessities, but pretty darn important anyways list. Horrible trans fluid leak, power steering fluid leak, etc., etc. Yeah, we only have one seat, so we're gonna have to fix that. Heater, air conditioner, everything's pretty stiff. Yes, the chicken is admiring our list. Is that right? You have a dirty beak. You gotta wash that off. And then we thought long and hard about some things that we don't necessarily need, but it doesn't hurt. These are the things that will give our Cherokee the character that we want it to have. So yeah, all of that's on the agenda.
Piece of cake.
This should be so easy. We're thinking about, we were talking about color, and we're thinking about maybe painting this like an olive drab green, like a military green. We think that would look cool with this design. But if you guys have a cool color idea, comment below and let us know what you think.
Yeah.
Totally. Next thing on the list is the battery cables. And I don't even have to explain it to you. You can figure out why we need new ones. These things are absolutely shot. So that's the next item.
Now, I'm no automotive electrician, but when the wire coming from your ignition module to the resistor is just literally wrapped around this terminal, I tell you what, it's amazing that this thing ran at all. Yeah, while we've got this apart, We're doing a bit of a degreasing here. It's crud cutter.
And it is definitely named right.
It's cutting the crud pretty good. It's just disgusting. I think it's got to get worse before it gets better, right?
That is true.
Oh, shiny metallic paint. All of a sudden it's 1977 again.
Yeah, right?
We have liberated the janky cables from the Jeep. So we're gonna build us some fresh ones. I got some 2-gauge red and black here, and some new crimp-on connectors and various yada yada yada. And we are going to use a hydraulic crimper to put these together. So one thing to keep in mind when we're making the wires, the new wires, is we're using 2-gauge cable, but not only do you want the right gauge here, but you want the right size here. So this is a 2-gauge terminal that will fit a 3/8 stud. But for the other end, to go to the solenoid, same size, but we want one that with a 5/16 hole. So this part, same size, these different size. You just kind of have to keep in mind what goes where. Satisfying. It's a pretty nifty tool. Just takes a little bit of finagling to make it work. Let's see what we got. Oh yeah, that is a rock solid crimp right there.
That's not coming off.
Nope.
Now here's one of the funnest parts. Using some heat shrink.
This heat shrink is the kind that has a glue inside of it too. So besides shrinking down on there, it actually has some like hot melt type glue in there that squeezes all around everything and makes it watertight.
Playing with fire. Kids, don't try this at home.
We're also going to be replacing the terminals on the battery with these marine style lugs. Cool thing about these is there's a stud on there, so you can add additional accessories, and we might, who knows, we might in the future put lights on this thing or a winch or something. This kind of terminal makes it really easy to add additional stuff because you can just stack up more terminals on there.
Old wire. New wire.
We got fresh cables, new solenoid, fresh terminals crimped on, proper heat shrink, got everything loomed, protected, zip tied, much less likely to burn itself to the ground. And I would fire it up and show you how well it runs, but there's one small problem with that. The gas tank is laying on the floor.
It's a bit of a disadvantage.
Yes, but we got it out. I got about 3.5 gallons of the nastiest gas-looking substance you've ever seen. Our gas gauge wasn't working either, and come to find out the reason why is that the sender wasn't even hooked up. But I had also purchased a new sending unit from BJ's Off-Road, so next video we'll have the fuel system all sorted out, and hopefully we can take this for a spin for you guys, but that is coming soon.
We were thinking about it, and we realized every project vehicle has to have a name. You just can't have a project like this without naming it. And so we thought long and hard about this. We came up with a few suggestions, but we finally landed on one that we think is just perfect, and that name is Gomer Pyle. And the reason for that is we've just been binge watching Andy Griffith's show over quarantine, this whole pandemic and everything like that. And we think his personality matches his Jeep a lot. And rather than it being called Gomer Pyle with P-Y-L-E, we want to put P-I-L-E. Because when we started this, it literally is
Still
just
kind
a
of a
pile of
pile.
junk. It kind of sort of is, but we're getting there.
Yeah, we love the name. The whole family loves it, so it stick. This is Gomer. Hi, Gomer, say hi. Everybody, this is Gomer.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's it, guys. We're going to check you next time.
Awesome. Oh yeah, don't forget, if you want to see our last video, make sure you click up here. We're going to start a playlist with all of our Jeep related products and videos. Make sure you click down there and check that out. And also, do not forget to subscribe for more things to come.
All right, guys. Thanks. We'll see you.